I'm done.
Warrior Christian, back to you.
I did attempt to explain that, why it made sense that the first cause would be both being outside of time would transcend time, be timeless, and being outside of space.
Well, even if we make that concession to you, how do you go from there to showing that it's your God, the God of the Bible, that actually was the cause?
And I have to remind you that the asymptote does not allow that. It doesn't permit that. It makes the concession without conceding to you. It is eternal, but it is not outside time.
Let's do it one at a time. Firstly, how do you get from the conclusion of the Kalam cosmological argument, which merely states that the universe must have had a cause, to that cause being your God? Please tell me how you make that leap.
Well, let's first start with how.
Alan, let him answer one at a time. That's my question, and then we'll come to yours.
You'll have to receive the telepathic spiritual feeling. Excuse me?
I'm sorry. I'll mute my mic.
Well, that was awfully rude. Yes, you will have to read the Bible with a certain state of mind to... Sorry, he's
yeah,
really
this has got to be a Poe DPR. I mean, there's
well, he's doing quite a good job, though. So, Oren, what was your question?
No, can we seriously, dude? He can't even keep a straight face. I mean, really, this is.
That's because Aaron laughed straight out loud, and
yeah, because I would laugh straight out loud too when I heard you say it. I was like, "You've got to be kidding me, right?" And
that's very intolerant of you, Jack, to have an opinion like that of someone's heartfelt beliefs. I mean, how can you just dismiss his beliefs like that?
Well, thanks, Oliver.
No, I have really good. I've done really good defenses of the existence of God on not just this show, but the Trolling with Logic show. I must say, Jack, I do a much better job than you. I don't just define words and try and play a semantics game. And what do you mean I'm a Poe? I don't understand that.
You don't just define. Okay, wait. First of all, the fact that you want to go about proving God using words, to me, words are limited. You want to make them sound like they aren't. I don't buy that BS. What is not limited is Christ in you, shown through your life, through your thoughts and your actions. That's the most powerful argument you will ever have. And the fact is, you should use that far more often and frequently than trying to rely on this BS, Kalam cosmological, whatever arguments.
But he's right, though, Jack, that, I mean, you would say that, the principle, I don't presume to speak for you, but I assume this is a very common argument among theists, is that you do have to accept Jesus into your heart and have this sort of telepathic relationship with whatever, right? I mean, how is what he's saying different from what you're saying?
Well, it's different in the sense of he's trying to make it sound like he's more reasonable and rational. And of course, he's not. Sitting there adding on to it, the Kalam cosmological argument doesn't mean that his next assertion is more. If anything, it's of course, you look at it and you're like, wait, you sit there and you try to go through these steps, but then at the end, you want to rely on, you need to have this.
But Jack, I'm struggling here. How is what he says different from what you're saying? I mean, you laugh at his face when he says you've got to have a telepathic relationship with Jesus. But this is what you do, yeah? You you have conversations with this sort of telepathic, invisible, celestial zombie or whatever. I mean, how is what he's saying any different from what you're saying?
As I told you, I was very into the artwork of Hinduism, and I was very much into the Beatles once upon a time. And I remember reading interviews with George Harrison where he talked about how he would chant the mantras and actually see Lord Krishna. Krishna would appear to him, and they would be able to speak to each other.
Just 1 second, Aaron. Puppy Turtle, can you mute your blog TV and also mute your microphone for a moment, please? Thank you.
Okay, now if George Harrison is able to experience Krishna not just as a sort of a squishy, wishy-washy sort of a sixth sense sort of impression, but actually seeing him and hearing him and laughing with him and telling stories, and it's like a real person, it's a real relationship. He has a relationship with Lord Krishna. Now, do you give any credence at all to that on face value?
I give credence to the the way that I tend to operate in real life is I give credence to the person in front of me. So if that person was in front of me recounting this, and I could visibly tell this was very meaningful and true to them, whether I believe it or not is irrelevant. I would treat them with courtesy and decency, and I would be very.
If you just got back,
wait.
No. If you just got back from someone who's burned a witch, you're saying that you would have a courteous conversation with that person.
Okay. What I'm saying is the way that I think most of us engage in real life conversation is if someone appears to be very sincere and genuine in what they're saying, we're going to be more inclined to treat them with decency and be courteous to them, even though we disagree. So if they're saying to me, hey, I had this experience of whatever, I honestly would be very intrigued to hear what was that? I mean, what was it like? How is this, what brought you to that experience? How has it impacted your life? I mean, look, we can argue all day long about all this stuff that we do. At the end of the day, I'm much more interested to know, how do these beliefs actually play out in our real everyday life and our involvement in interaction with other people?
Fine, Jack. Aaron, let me come back on this one. So this woman of the Harold Camping ilk, who after the rapture before the rapture, decided that she should slit her daughter's throat and then kill herself. I mean, this woman clearly had a very deep and involved spiritual experience to the point where she was willing to kill herself and her children. And you're saying that you would sit down in front of this person and say, wow, that must have been a really intense experience that you really had. I think we should have a nice, honest conversation. I mean, religion has made them do crazy stuff. I mean, this is the difference. For good people to do good things, it can happen whether you have religion or not. But for good people to do crazy things requires religion.
Agree. I mean, let me give you a case. Can I respond? Let me give you a case in point. I wouldn't say it's crazy, perhaps. But look, Thunderfoot, you clearly are not a religious person, and yet it certainly hasn't stopped you from making stupid assertions about Richard Coughlin starting a civil war among the so-called atheist community that is the purpose of which is to pursue rationality.
This is changing the topic, Jack.
No, it's very relevant.
You were saying no. Whether I'm a hypocrite or not is absolutely a complete red herring. I mean, it's like sort of saying, well, officer, you stopped me for speeding, but that guy was speeding as well. No, Jack. The point is that you were saying that there is that you respect people who have intense religious experiences, right? And so I ask you the question, well, what about the woman who slits her children's throats? Just like Abraham in the Bible. Oh, he didn't quite get around to doing it. But people in real life have, Jack. And they do it because of this book. Right? Now, can you tell me why you respect their intense experiences like you just said that you did? And then we'll come back to whatever else you want to discuss.
And then me.
That'd be cool because, Thunderfoot, I've requested conversations with you before, and so this is the only time that I'm sure I'll ever have a venue to do so. And I am curious to hear your thoughts about this matter. Now, regarding the fact of people using religion as a means to do horrible things, I already acknowledged that earlier in the show. I would contend that within Christianity, of course, the scripture there are things that I could easily point someone to. For example, if they're thinking about killing other people, I can go back and I can say, look, if you're a Christian, given that's who you are, given this is what you believe to be true, Christ says here that you should be doing this. So why are you wanting to go out and do something in opposition to the values and principles that Christ just taught? So in other words, there's a venue to have a very real conversation with that person that would be meaningful, given assuming that we have a similar foundation. In the same way, Thunderfoot, you and I have a similar foundation too as humans, right? We value human life. I believe that we both value rationality, albeit you have a notion of rationality that seems to be somewhat exclusive to your idea of atheism, whereas I don't. But I value meaningful, courteous conversation. If I encounter a woman who is actually thinking about slitting the throat of her children, whether it's because she's a theist or an atheist is irrelevant to me. The fact is that I would do everything in my power to make sure that that did not occur.
Can I
But
jump
the
in
key
with just
point,
one
the key point here is that religion
you're missing something.
inspired. Religion inspired them to do this.
Thunder, we've got callers waiting, and I want Aaron to speak, and then we're going to take the next caller.
Just real quick, can you imagine somebody slitting their own children's throats because of atheism? Seriously? I mean, come on.
Okay, welcome. Well, very quickly, Jack, because we've got a caller waiting. Go on, very quickly.
Obviously, if someone can create a whole ideology about how atheism is for the purposes of pursuing rationality, I wouldn't be surprised if someone called themselves an atheist and desired to associate with this idea of atheism some notion about how life should be lived and died. All right. So if Thunderfoot is capable of creating a system of how atheism is about rationality, I don't see how it's inescapable for someone to create a system of how atheism it speaks about matters regarding how one should live or die.
Okay, we're going to move on now. The next caller is someone that was on the show, I think, 2 shows ago, and I have to apologise because I kept on calling them the purple turtle, and it's actually the puppy turtle. Are you with us?
Yes.
Welcome back to the show. How can we help you?
This is. I think I finally came up with something that you all can agree on. I know that you, Jack, have been a very vocal critic of Shock of God, and he's recently come up in events. Apparently, Shock of God's chat room that he runs, it apparently got hacked, and he, to capitalize off of it, has now threatened to sue a completely unrelated person who had made a video showing a hateful message sent by Shock of God to an atheist. Oh, and then when the one of the many people being threatened with lawsuits, Lethiad, when he then points out that the company, that Shock cannot sue him because Shock doesn't own the chat room. Not that the person had anything to do with it, but after he pointed that out, the company is all of a sudden suing them.
Puppy, I'm grateful for the call. I'm not sure that this is really going to progress too far, is it? Did you actually have a specific question rather than a statement?
But I want to know. I just wanted to discuss that.